Hope you enjoyed working in Microsoft Word. We are now moving on to a different program in the Microsoft suite, which is called Microsoft Excel, which is a spreadsheet. What I love about spreadsheets is that it does math for me and keeps things organized. So to get started, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see there's 4 documents. You are going to need to download and open up number 2, the Excel Lesson 1 document. I'm going to go ahead and click on there and open up. As I open up, you're going to see what Excel looks like. Almost there. This is Excel. Make sure to get your Enable Editing button going. And then on the bottom, we're going to be working in the tab that's called Everything Coke Cells. You don't need to worry about these other tasks. You will not be using these other ones. Just focus on Everything Coke Cells. To get started in this, you'll be using this video, which you're already watching, or as well, if you need any help, you can download number 1, which is the instructions I'll be using as I walk you through.
Inside of Excel, I want to always start by hitting Enable Editing, and you can see it's green instead of blue. That's another easy way to tell the difference between the two programs. So let's get started. I'm going to grab my instructions that I'll be using throughout this, and you want to have the instructions open somewhere as well in case you need to reference them. So I'm going to be putting them onto my next screen and being able to follow my instructions, and as you follow this video, you can follow me in the video. So the first step is to open up the Excel workbook, which I've done. And then I need to enter in some following data. Well, let's understand what we're really doing. We're not just going to jump on here and start throwing in a bunch of information without understanding our objective. We have an objective of this situation. And in our situation, our boss at Everything Coke has asked us to create a daily sales report. As a successful business, we want to keep track of our sales and see, are we making money or not? Our report needs to show the daily sales amounts for each categories of all the items sold. So as you can see right here, we're selling apparel, we're selling home decor, we're selling collectibles, we're selling a lot of things. So we got to keep them in their separate categories. So I'm going to start by, I need to enter in this following data. So if you want to pull up the instructions and so you can look at this, you may. I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to make sure I get all of this information entered exactly as I see it right here, and then I'll continue from there. So again, I recommend you pull up the instructions and you go ahead and copy all this information like I'm going to do right now. I have inputted all of the information like the instructions have told me. However, you are going to notice a problem. The problem is mine does not look exactly like the instructions. I need to fix this to get this to look a little better, just like the instructions. For instance, cutting off words right here. I don't have any dollar symbols, so we're going to learn how to do that right now. What I want to do is I first want to turn this all into money. So I'm going to highlight all of these, and then I'm going to come up to this tab. And in this tab, which is in the numbers section, I can choose what type of currency or what type of form I want these numbers to take. So since I'm turning them into money, I could turn them into currency. But let's look at that looks like the example, because we have 2 ones that we're using. Looks a little different, but it also looks very similar. I could also turn it into accounting. Not much of a difference, but I'm going to tell you this right now. When we're dealing with numbers, we're going to put it in accounting format. The other difference you're going to notice is there's no cents. I need to get rid of the cents right here. So to get rid of the cents, I have this all highlighted. I'm going to get rid of the cents by using the decrease decimal button. So 1, 2. Now it matches up with my instructions and it's starting to look a lot better. Now you're also going to notice that my dollar signs are not attached to the actual numbers. So if I went with a different format, such as currency, they are attached, and that's what the instructions have it as. So since the instructions do have it as that, I'm going to leave it at that to make sure there's no confusion. But now I do need to fix again my decimal, so I get to decrease decimals again. Now it's starting to look like the instructions. The next thing you're going to notice is that I'm cutting off some words. So I can come up here between the A and the B, and notice how my mouse changes. It kind of goes from a down arrow to like, ooh, what is that? A plus with 2 arrows on each side. And I can grab that and I can slide that over to wherever I want, so everything can show. Now I'm starting to look a lot better. So I'm ready to move on to the next step. Number 3 is where we're going to be at. And number 3 says that we need to insert a column to the left of column B. So here's column B. I need to insert a column to the left of column B. So I'm going to click on column B, and then I'm going to come up here and click on my Home tab. From the Home tab, I'm going to go and find the section that's called Cells, which is right here, the Cells group. From the Cells group, I'm going to go to the Insert, and then in the Insert tab, I'm going to click on Insert Sheet Columns, and it makes a brand new column right there for me. Now in column B, I need to enter some information. So if I look on the instructions, as I go down, this is the information that I need to insert on column B. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and hurry and insert that information right now. Well, actually, that is so quick. I will just do it quick as we go. And if you're as quick as me, you can get it in as well. So I'm going to start right here on this number cell B2. So we have 5123, 5421, 7201, 4613. Now you're going to notice we have an issue. The issue is these numbers aren't matched up like this, like these other ones we just did. So I'm going to hurry and grab them. I'm going to throw them into currency, and then I'm going to get rid of those decimals again. Great. The next step that I need to take is I need to save my document. I don't want to get too far along and lose all of this. So we're going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to go File, Save As. From Save As, I am going to go to my Browse, like normal. I'm going to go and find my Student M Drive. Then I'm going to go to my Computer Technology folder, which I'm going to switch that name right now because the course is switched. So I'm going to call this Business Specialist Office. Oh, what am I thinking? Business Office Specialist is the name of this new course. So you can switch yours as well to the new name. Business Office Specialist. Perfect. I'm going to go into my Business Office Specialist, and I need a folder for our new unit. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to hit New. You should already have one of these folders created, but if you don't, you should make one. It is going to be called Spreadsheets, and that's what we're working in, is a spreadsheet. And now that I have this all ready to go, I'm going to save this assignment as my period. So let's say we're in 3A. Last name, Blake. First name, Jesse. And then I'm going to call this Excel 1 in class I gotta capitalize my class in class activity. There we go. I'm going to put some spaces actually between this so it becomes a little easier to read. So Blake Jesse Excel in 1 class activity. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and save that to my Spreadsheets folder. Save. And now it's saved to my Spreadsheets folder. Something very interesting that's going to help you throughout all of these Excel assignments is sometimes when you get further on, you're trying to figure out, well, what cell, because these are cells. A cell is where a column, like L, and a row, like 27, come together. So a cell is where a column and a row meets. Again, I'll say that again. A cell is where a column and a row meets. Well, sometimes I don't want to look at J and then go and match it all up. So there's a quicker way to see what cell you're on. Right here. Wherever you click, watch this number change. It tells me what cell I'm on. So as I'm moving around and clicking randomly, it tells me what cell I'm on. That is a way I can see quickly on what cell I'm on. We'll need to know that later on, so I'll reference that again. All right, we're moving on to number 6 in the instructions. We need to insert a row above row 2. So here's row 2. I'm going to click right here on the number 2. I'm on row 2. And now to insert a row, it's just like how we did with a column. So I'm going to the Home tab, the Cells section, Insert Sheet Rows. Boom, got my row. And then it tells us that in cell B2, so here's cell B2, I need to type in this actual word, Sunday. From there, we're going to learn an awesome tool right now. I am going to fill in the rest of these days without typing them because Excel is a smart program. It's going to figure out what I want it to do. In order to do so, I'm going to come right here, and if you look on the actual video very closely, you're going to notice that my mouse turns into like a white plus. However, in the bottom right hand corner of this cell, there's a little green box. That box is known as our fill handle. And when I hover my white mouse, that now turns into a black mouse, over that little box, it changes it from the white plus to the black plus. The black plus is saying you're going to fill something in. So what I do is I wait for it to go black, and then I click and I grab it, and I drag it along. And it's going to magically fill everything in for me automatically because it's a smart program. So see, it filled all those in. Let's do that one more time. Let's say I'm clicked right here on cell C16. I got to go click on cell B2, move my mouse until it turns to the black plus, grab and drag, and look, it magically fills in everything for me. Beautiful. I don't have to do that work. All right, that was number 8. Moving on to number 9. Select the range of B2 to B6. So I have B2 going all the way across to B6, sorry, down. So I have B2 to B6 selected. Now with B2 to B6 selected, I'm going to move this range to I2 to I6. So in other words, I'm going to move all of this. Instead of starting the week with Sunday, I'm going to end the week with Sunday. So now it's all highlighted. I'm just going to click again and grab it, have it all highlighted, and I want to move all of this over to here. So in order to do so, I'm going to have to grab somewhere special, and that's what I want you to look at. I'm going to move my indicator or my mouse over the edge of the selected range until your indicator becomes a 4-way arrow. Right there, boom. So again, white plus, black plus, but this is different. When I get on the edges of the green line border, it turns into a 4-way arrow. I'm going to click, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to move it right here. Oh, didn't work, so I'm going to try it again. There we go. Click, grab it, and I move it right here, and it copied and pasted everything. So I did that by making sure my mouse turned into a 4-way arrow, just like that. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to delete column B. So I'm going to go to column B. I'm going to right-click on it, and I can hit delete. Now you might ask me, that was a waste of time. Why didn't you just go and type it all in column H, Sunday? Well, yeah, it was kind of a waste of time, but I was teaching you how to insert a new column, insert a new row, and then grab information and copy and paste it with your mouse instead of having to use Control-C and Control-V. All right, moving on. We are now on instruction number 11. I'm going to change the column width of columns A through H. So that's all these columns right here, A through H. I'm going to change these columns to 11 point. So in order to do so, I'm going to grab up here and highlight them all. I have everything highlighted in my columns. This is something new we haven't done. We are going to be now going into the home ribbon. I come all the way over to cells, and I find this button in the cell section called format. When I click on format, I have all of these options, and I want to change to a specific column width that I know I want. The column width is going to be 11 point. So I'm going to go and find column width. When I click on a column width, this box pops up and asks me what I want the width to be. Well, I want it to be 11. So I hit OK, and it changes it all automatically to 11 for me. Beautiful. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to merge and center this section up here, because daily sales report covers all of this area. Well, I want to make it look like a title. So to do so, I'm going to come up to my home tab, and I'm going to find a button called Merge and Center. So it's in the alignment area, and if I look over the alignment, we have left align, middle align, right align. We have some indents, and it's right to the right. It's called Merge and Center. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to choose Merge and Center. It merges all of those cells together and centers it. So now all of this becomes one cell, as you can see. Now it's just all cell A1, here's I1. But all of these, there's no E1, there's no F1, they all merge together to make A1. Perfect. Moving on. I need to make the following changes to the title. So, this is my title. Daily Sales Report's my title. The first one is you need to add a red fill color. Well, in the font section, right here in my home tab, we have fill color, text color. I'm messing with the fill color. So in the fill color, I am going to go and find a fill color that's red. Well, here's red. Got it. Next step, increase the font size to 18. Come up here in my home ribbon, font size 18. Perfect. Change the font style. These things we've done in Word, so you can see Word and Excel do have a lot of the same things. I'm going to be changing the font style to Comic Sans. So it's an ABC order, Comic Sans right there. Good. Now I got to change the font actual color to white and bold. So this was the fill color. This is the text of the actual words. I'm going to change that to white, and then I'm going to bold them. Excelente. Now I'm going to increase the row height of this. So how do we increase row height? Well, remember home ribbon, all the way over to format. I'm going to go to row height. We've done column width, now let's do row height. Row height is going to 65. Type in 65, I hit OK. Then I also want to center this vertically. Right now it's centered horizontally. Left to right is horizontal. Vertical is up to down or down to up. So this is my vertical alignment. I'm going to make sure to center that vertically. Not to the top, not to the bottom, but vertically. I got it vertically centered. Perfect. The next step is I'm going to add a thick border around this cell. So to find borders, it's actually right here as well. It's in our font section. When I click on this button, it looks like a window right by the underline and the bait bucket in between them. I click on the little down arrow and have all these options of borders. I am going to go with the thick border, which is right here, thick outside border. I'm going to click on it and it gave me a black little border to go all the way around, as you can see. So the best way, actually, if I go and do a file print, to like do a print preview, we'll see that there's a border right there now around. You can see that little black going around it, which is my border. So perfect. I'm going to go ahead and save just to make sure I saved all my changes by clicking on the save button. Next step, moving on. Now I am going to add in some more information. So I'm going to add in April 5th to 11th as a subtitle. So I want to type in some more information in here, a little subtitle. To do so, this is a tricky step, so pay special attention. I need to click on A1, I'm on A1, and I need to press on my keyboard, so look at your keyboard, I need to press F2. When I press F2, it makes my cursor appear. So now that my cursor is there, I'm not done. Look at your keyboard and find the button Alt. Press Alt and then press Enter, and it moves that cursor to the next line. Now I'm going to type April 5 to 11, and then I'm going to press Enter to leave the cell. So now Enter. And now it's added that information in with my subtitle. That was number 14 if you want to look at the instructions. All right, number 15. It says in A2 I need to add the word items. So right here, cell A2, type in the word items. Perfect. And now I'm going to add a heading style from A2 all the way to H2. In other words, these are my headings. I'm going to give them a style to make them stand out. So to do so, I'm going to highlight the range just like I did. I'm going to go to my home ribbon, and then I'm going to go to my styles group. From my styles group, I'm going to go to cell styles. From cell styles, I am going to choose one of these. I'm going to tell you right now that the one we are going to choose is called Heading 3 Style. Heading 1, Heading 2, Heading 3 Style. Beautiful. Got it. I'm also needing to center the heading, so I still have them all highlighted. And I come up here and I'm going to center them. I'm going to center them horizontally, and I also want to center them vertically. Great. Now that I have finished that, we have some issues. And my issues occur in cells A3 to A6. A3 to A6, these are titles of products I'm selling. Oh, I did not want to do that, so I'm going to hit cancel. I went to highlight. So, with these products that I want to make them look a little different, I'm going to add an indent. So I'm going to highlight them all. And then I'm going to come up to my home, my alignment section. We saw all these alignments, left, right, center, merge and center we saw. Here's a new one though, indent. I'm going to indent. I'm going to create an indent. To do so, I'm going to click on it once and I'm going to increase the indent. And now it has an indent to it. I can do it as many times as I want, but I'm only going to do it once. So leave it as one indent right there. Great. Now, on column A, you can notice we have some issues. It's cutting off some words because I did that indent. So we're going to do something called autofit. So to do so, I am going to move my indicator between A and B up here, right up here. Here's A, here's B. I'm going to put my cursor right between. Watch how it goes from a down arrow to like a plus with two ends on it, two arrows on the end. I'm going to double click on this. Here we go. Double click, and it automatically, it auto fits it. So whenever you put this between, it'll auto fit that section between those two columns for you. So let's undo that and do it one more time. Go right here in between, it changes into this type of symbol of a plus with two arrows on the end. Double click, auto fits it. Perfect. Moving on. Now I'm going to add the title total in cells I2 and A7. So we have cells I2 and A7, which is A7's over here. I'm going to write in the word total. So total, I want the total from this one, and I want the total from this one. As you can see, since we've made all these edits, this total does not match up the best. So we are going to use something called the format painter. And what it does is it paints the format of any other cells we already have. So to do so, I'm going to click on cell, let's say H2. After I click on cell H2 is highlighted, I'm going to come click on this paintbrush right here in the home ribbon. When I click on it, it paints. In other words, it copies the format. And then I'm going to go click where I want that to be painted to, right here. So I click here, and it's going to match it up. So boom, now it looks the exact same. So you can see the difference is it put the underline in it. I'm going to do the same thing for total. So here we go. I'm going to click on here, I2, I'm going to copy this format. Click on the paintbrush. I'm going to come over here to this total. I'm going to click once, boom. Look, I made it look the exact same. Great. You see we ran into an issue now with doing this, that it made this look ugly. We'll fix this in a little bit with this space right there. Moving on, we are going to apply a total style to cells A7 and I7. So now we have a little more work than what I thought. I'm going to come to A7 right here. I'm actually going to go and change the format. The format we're changing, I don't change in here. I go to cell styles, and I'm going to change it to a total style. There we go. I'm also going to change it on this one. So I had you do all of that, the format painter, in vain, but now you know how to do it. So it wasn't in vain because now you know how to use it. So now we have the total here. I'm also going to change it on cell I7 as well. So sorry, no, we're leaving that one there. I'm doing it on I7 right here. So I'm going to I7, right there, I7, cell styles, total. Perfect. Next thing we are going to be working on is I need to right align A7. So here's A7. I want it to go to the right. So I have it in the center. I'm going to push it to the right. Great. Next step I'm going to take is I'm going to fix cell A1, which is right here in my title, so that it's merged and centered all the way across. So the first thing I need to do to fix this is I need to click the merge and center button to unmerge and center. Oh man, I made it hideous. No problem. I'm going to highlight it all again, and this time I'm going to include IA, and I'm going to merge and center. So remerge and center, and now look, we have I included in that merge and center. Beautiful. The next step I'm going to take is I'm going to sort everything in alphabetical order, because this is out of alphabetical order. To sort it in alphabetical order, I need to highlight the range. So right here's the range of everything I'm sorting. I want to sort all of this into alphabetical order. So I highlight it. Then I go to the home ribbon. Then I go to the editing section. And then from the editing section, I go to sort and filter. From sort and filter, I click on the down arrow and sort and filter. And I will click on sort A to Z, saying I want to sort everything from A to Z in A, B, C order. As you can see, I'll undo that and do it one more time. You're going to notice these things change around to A, B, C order. Sort, boom, it's all changed to A to Z order. I'm going to be stopping this video right now, and you will need to continue on to the second video to continue on in finishing this assignment. Before I do so, I'm going to save. I have saved, and now I'm moving on.